Alright, welcome. In this video, I'm going to share with you all how I made my own custom walnut wood DMQ spin. So, I was itching to make another macro pad, as you do, when I found this, the DMQ spin. I knew instantly that this would be a great quick project to fill that macro pad size shaped hole in my life, so I went about to see how I could get my hands on one. Now, all of the group buys I came across were long done, and I was just about considering ordering my own from JLC PCB and soldering all of the components by hand. But luckily, I came across Nick005566, quite a mouthful, I know, who runs shop.kstanchev.com, which had recently had a group buy for the DMQ spin. So I hit him up on Discord and asked him if there'd be a way for me to get one. I was in luck. He had one left over from the last group buy, and he kindly sent it out to me just a couple days later. So a huge thank you to him, and if anyone in the EU region needs any keyboard parts or supplies, consider checking out his website. Link to that is in the description. Anyways, with a spin on the way and the step files downloaded from GitHub, I made quick work of designing this simple but I think quite elegant case, which I admit doesn't have many bells and whistles, but it has this neat little swoop on the side, which makes it easier to turn the knobs, but also just looks kind of nice. Side note, I did end up having to modify the case a little bit at the CNC machine, since the stock I had available to me was not quite thick enough, but we'll get to that when we get to it. So, with the design done and the toolpath set up, it was time for the CNC. I slapped some painter's tape onto the work table and the wood piece itself, and with just a couple of drops of super glue, it was ready to go. I started the operation by cutting the outer contour, then cutting in the swoop, clearing the main pocket, and finally drilling some small holes for some screws. A quick visit to the belt sander made sure that both the bottom and top were nice and flat, and then I could address some cosmetic issues. There was this big chip on the side that must have happened during the CNC process. Now in a production part, I would have just scrapped this and started all over, but since this is just a prototype, I decided to fix it. A couple drops of super glue and some wood shavings quickly made the damage disappear. There were also some knots in the wood, which, to be honest, aren't great, but this was one of the only pieces of wood we had around that was of the right size. Not too big of an issue, I just used some more tape around the holes to make sure that the super glue wouldn't just go everywhere. Filled it with some sawdust and added some super glue. After which I cut it down with a razor blade and sanded it flush. Now, I mentioned I had to change my design a little bit because of the actual size of wood that I had. And what that means is that the case is just a tiny bit shorter than I originally intended it to be. Which means that the spin sits a little bit over the top, whereas it should be sitting flush. So I removed the spacers in between the top and bottom PCB. Just to get a couple of millimeters back so that the spin could sit flush. So once I was satisfied with the fit, I sanded all of the sides, starting at 400 grit and working up to 1000, after which I just added some linseed oil. Now, I actually shot the footage of the sanding and oiling of the case while I was on holiday, and I hadn't actually done the cutout yet for the USB connector. Once I was back, I chucked it into a vise on the CNC. I cut the hole with a 4mm bit. So then I was actually done with the case. There was just one thing that I didn't quite love, which is the acrylic window on the left hand side that just didn't look right to me. I'm not sure if it's just me, but clear acrylic is kind of ugly. So I went on Amazon and looked for a couple different options for acrylics and found this neat piece of acrylic which has just a tiny bit of tint to it. I thought this would look perfect since it kind of hides some of the components and works with the whole black theme going on. A couple days later, after it arrived, I mounted it to the CNC with some super glue and tape and cut out the small acrylic window with a 2mm bit. Now this thing is just ridiculously tiny, but I needed it to make these 2mm holes so that I could screw it into place. The finish on the sides is not quite what I would like it to be, but since they won't be visible in the end, I decided to just leave them. If I had a laser cutter, I would have obviously used that, but you gotta work with what you got. In my case, an expensive ass CNC machine. Here's just a quick comparison of the old acrylic on the left and the slightly tinted one on the right, which I think just looks so much nicer. This time around, I didn't bother lubing the switches, which are the Keywerk X Pushy, which made an appearance in the last video, since I think I might be switching them out quite soon, but we'll see. I am admittedly a little bit indecisive when it comes to switches. So, that's all of the parts we need for our final assembly. If you've been here before, you know the drill. I'm going to leave you now for the build montage. If you enjoyed this little project, consider subscribing. And if you have any other macro pads that you would like me to class up a little bit, just let me know down below. Alright,